Hi everyone, today we are going to edit the Etsy Kickstarter planner, but we're going to edit the digital version for Goodnotes. So yesterday we did the regular one, which is, it can be anything you want. It can be a printable. You could just sell it as a PDF. You could sell it as a physical planner. If you send it in to get printed, you could send it into Vervante, which is who I always recommend for printing, and have it be a print on demand book as well. So many options with that first template. And this one is specific for Goodnotes so that it has clickable tabs. So if you're new here, I'm Lisa from Pretty Fabulous. And here we are just doing a lot of tutorials. I'm going live a lot. I know somebody asked me when you're going live. I try to make an announcement for this, but I have so many things coming out for the 2021 updates. And it was kind of all last minute because I was without a computer for a couple of weeks. So just scrambling to get things out to you as soon as possible. So two things you can do if you want to follow me and make sure you know when I go live. One, make sure you're on my mailing list. I will send those out regularly after this once we get all caught up with the 2021 templates. And then two, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, if you follow me on Crowdcast, you will be able to see all upcoming Crowdcast videos that I have scheduled. And I use Crowdcast to live stream to YouTube. So they're usually scheduled on Crowdcast and maybe not scheduled on YouTube just because it's easier to do it that way for me. So that's it. All right, I know it is Sunday, so I'm going to be quick so we can get in and out of here really quick. Or maybe you're watching the replay and it doesn't matter to you that it's Sunday. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you can see everything. And I do want to mention that the Etsy digital Kickstarter, usually I never sell those separately. It's just not meant to be sold separately. It's meant just for a additional product if you purchase the regular one, if you want to also offer a digital version. So that is available today only for 50% off if you would like to buy the digital version only. I've left a link below. And then the regular Etsy Kickstarter is on sale as well for this weekend only for $67, and normally it's $247. So those all end this weekend. And I usually only do sales. Someone asked me if I do sales. I never do sales. I just do launch day or launch week special pricing when I introduce a new product. And that's pretty much it. And I know if you're waiting for Black Friday, I just want to be completely honest. I have not done Black Friday since I think 2015. So I don't anticipate I'll do Black Friday this year either. So it's just not something, my shop's just really not conducive to Black Friday sales. So I mean, never say never. I might change, but if I was going to offer something for Black Friday, it'd be something totally different. It wouldn't even be something in the shop. Just because I feel like, I don't know, sometimes as a consumer, I like sales, but sometimes if I bought something and then I see it went on sale for cheaper, I'm like, oh, I wish I would have waited. So I never want anyone to feel like that. So that's why I usually don't do sales like that. Anyways, all right. So if you are not familiar with what a digital planner is, I'm going to show you right here. It is, now I always say Goodnotes, but quite honestly, you could use this on a tablet. You could use this right here in Adobe Acrobat. So if I were to scroll through this planner and I clicked anything, like let's say I want to go to March, it's going to take me right there to the week of March. If I say August, it's going to take me to when August starts. October, same thing. December, the tabs work on the left as well. So you don't necessarily have to use a stylus or an Apple Pencil. As long as you have an iPad or anything else that you can tap on, you can even write on this with your finger. So I hate to say that like it's only for Goodnotes. It's just kind of easier. Most people associate Goodnotes with digital planners. So that's kind of it. Home will take you right back to the cover at the very beginning. Now, the only thing that's a little different about this, and again, if you didn't buy the original, you might not notice, the annuals are set up so you have this year and next year's on a 2-page layout. And then if I go over to monthlies, I put all the monthlies together at the beginning of the planner and not at like interspersed throughout. So that's why you have a tab up here for monthlies. Now, when you go to the actual month, you're just seeing the week layout. And as you know, sometimes months start in the middle of a week. So as long as whatever the first day of May was, if it was on one of these 2-page spreads, that's what will show up when you hit May. It'll always take you to whatever pages have the first 2 days. I mean, in theory, you could have made this next page the May page, but for me, if I'm looking for May, I don't want to have to go backwards to find May 1st. So that's what I did. All right, so that's your file. Now, if you don't want to make any edits at all, and you're like, you know what, Adobe InDesign is really confusing, I just want to say 2 things. One, you don't have to. You can take this PDF and just sell it as is. You do not have to in any way make any edits. It will work perfectly out of the box, well, out of your downloads when you receive them. The second thing you could do is you could take that PDF, you could print it out, and you could actually just take a pen the old-fashioned way and mark it up. That's what I did in the beginning, and send it in to somebody on Fiverr or Upwork and ask them to make those edits for you. Another thing that you could do is I do have a free course called InDesign 101. And InDesign 101 really only has 5 lessons that teach you how to edit my templates. It's not like, what is Adobe InDesign? What are all these tools on the side? Because they are kind of confusing. It definitely does not do that. It only teaches you how to edit the templates specifically that I've set up. So you could go through that if you're kind of feeling a little bit more ambitious, or you just may need to make maybe a text edit or something else. But I will do my best to show you a lot of the basics today that I think you'll want to edit in this file. All right. So this is Adobe InDesign, if you've never used it. I do want to say, if you are in the least bit worried about seeing, sometimes you'll see, where is it? Let me find a page that has it. There's a page in here that has like a weird red mark. Of course, now that I said that, I can't find it. But sometimes when you open up Adobe InDesign, it will have red boxes, like bounding boxes around it. And that is only because of the way the application works. It has nothing to do, like you won't see that when you print the files. So if you ever have that, you can just go over here to View and select Overprint Preview. And then that will make sure that all of those go away for you. I think, yeah, I don't know why mine's doing that. Okay, so this box right here, these pink lines and purple lines here are just margins. They will not print either when you go to print this document. So if you want to, if you have that selection tool selected up here at the top left, if you hit W, those will go away if you find those distracting. I actually like them. It kind of gives me some sort of guides as I'm going through. But also, if your layout does not look exactly like mine when you open up Adobe InDesign, don't worry. Everybody's layouts, for whatever reason, are kind of different. But if you go to Window and you go to Workspace and you make sure typography is selected, there's a lot of different ones in here. And you can also, when it says New Workspace, you could create your own. But I would just select typography, and it should, in theory, look very similar to mine. So without going into too much depth, let me just show you, let's take a step back and let me just show you what's special about this file, because it's very different than the original Etsy Kickstarter file. And that's because it's a digital planner, which, as you saw, has all those clickable tabs. So to make those clickable tabs work, this document, you'll notice the page numbers are very different. These are sections and numbers. These are not like page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. That's not what you have. You have section 0.1 over here, which is the cover. And then you have section B.1, which is the annual. Then you have section C.1, which is the monthly. And then there's a few pages for monthly. So the second number inside of there, C1, is page 1. C2 is page 2 within inside of section C. C3 is page 3 within inside of section C. Hopefully that makes sense. So the reason I use letters is because January is section 1 and then page 1. To me, I think there was one planner in the very beginning where I did not do that. And it was, I think it's very confusing. So I just use letters if there's anything before the monthlies, and then I use numbers to correspond with the month. So then you know automatically that section 4 means April. I think that is much easier than saying this section 1 is home, section 2 is annual, section 3 is monthly. And then all of a sudden you jump into January and you're like, hey, that's section 4. That's so confusing. So anyway, so that's why I use letters and then numbers. So that is how your planner is set up, so that when you click on those tabs, they know where to go. Now, you have master pages, and I have a whole lesson on what master pages are, but master pages are basically the background, like a repeatable thing that you want on every single page. And any page that has that particular master page applied to it will have that background on it. So if we go to, say, May, this master page, you'll notice that it's automatically open. So it looks like May through December is over here on the right, and then January through April and the home, the monthly, and the annual are all on the left side. So just like as if you would have naturally opened up a planner. So that is how these are set up. Same thing if I go to August, you'll see that it's August through December on the right side, and then January through July on the left side. Now, all of these pages were applied to different pages inside of your document. So the master page is called 8-August. So if I go down here to 8 and I hover over page 8.1, you'll see it says 8 August applied, which is the master. That's how you figure out which master page has been applied to which sheet. Same thing over here. If I hover on 5.3, it says 5-May applied, and then I know that the May has been applied to that particular page. So that's how those clickable tabs work. Now, if you want to add, this is really important, if you want to add pages inside of here, let's say you have decided, you know what, for March, at the end of the month before you leave, I would like to do a 2-page wrap up where I ask somebody, how did your month go? How much did you spend? How much did you make? You know, did you hit your goals? Do you have more goals you need to hit? Or how do you want to plan for next month, right? Naturally, that would go at the end of the month. So if you're going to do that, you don't want those pages to be like in no man's land, right? You want them to still be within March because it's the end of March. So you would go ahead and right click on the very last page of March and say insert pages. Now, this is actually very helpful. So remember, even though it looks like a 2-page spread to Adobe InDesign, this is just one single page. You're kind of like, I would say digital planners are kind of like when you go to visit the Wizard of Oz. He's like that guy with the little monkey in the background trying to make everything look magical and fascinating and make it happen. That's what you're doing. You're just doing all the magic on the back end. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick in, let's say, 2 pages, because we're going to have two 2-page spreads. And we're going to say after page 3.2, it's going to show you all the page numbers here that you can select from. And then it's going to ask you which master page you would like to apply. You obviously, out of all these different master pages that are listed here on the top, you want to apply the March master page because you want to show that it's still part of March. So you're going to say, okay. And then if we scroll down here, you're going to see that it says 3.3. It's blank, obviously, because we haven't applied anything. And we have 3.4. Now, a couple things. If you don't see this panel here that says pages, really easy. All you have to do is go to Window and make sure that Pages has a check mark in front of it. So if I uncheck it, it's disappeared. So if I go back here and I go to Window and I say Pages, it reappears. You don't necessarily need it, but if you're going to, I think, add any pages or work with master pages, or it's just easier to navigate through your document as well. You know, I did upgrade my computer a while ago, if you saw that video, but prior to that, I will say for memory purposes on your computer, it would take way longer to scroll through the pages here on this left side than it does to scroll through the pages here on the right side. It's just faster. I don't know why. So anyways, those are the pages. So you'll notice that the pages that we added over here for March, if I can get back up there. Okay, so these blank pages that we added here for March, they do have the lines in them, right? Because it's supposed to line up with the days of the week. If you don't want that, I will show you how to delete that. So all you have to do is go to that page. You will have to use that page menu over here on the right. Make sure you have the page selected. You're going to right click that page and you're going to select override all master page items. So once I override all master page items, that means I can edit and delete on this sheet without ruining the master page, right? So any changes I make to this master page will automatically show up everywhere else. But if I do override master pages just on that one page inside of the document, it will be fine. So if I take all of these lines, whoops, I just moved them. I did not mean to do that. So let's say I want to get rid of all of these lines, right? So I'm going to select all of these lines. Actually, let me just go ahead and select all of them like that. And then I'm going to unselect that background because I don't want to delete that. And then I'm just going to hit the delete key. Now they've all gone away. So now I just have a blank white piece of paper, 2 white pieces of paper, but I still have that March hierarchy on the left and the January, February hierarchy on the right, and then the January, February on the left. Now, the only exception to this is I did add 2 master pages in here that I'm not using anywhere in case you wanted to use them. Over here, D, white pages only, is going to be just like it says, white pages only, but there's no tabs on here at all. And that's fine too if you don't need tabs, but most people like having tabs all over. And then over here we have background only, which I really just used for the covers here in the front and the cover here in the back. And the reason I did that is because they don't need any clickable tabs. So if you also have something similar, or maybe like a reorder page or just something on your website you want to advertise, then you also probably don't need that either. All right, so let's go back up here. So now you know how to add pages, how to override the master page items so you're not stuck with everything. And then if you decide you don't want these, you could just highlight both of them. I hit the shift key when I selected them, and you can literally just go over here and hit the trash button and say okay, and now they will be deleted. Like I said, so let's go back to March. So if I hovered over March, I can see that 3-March is applied. That's the master page. And like I said, if I make a change up here on the master page, it will show up everywhere that that master page is applied. So if I do like a text box up here, just showing you, like maybe you want to put a quote, like, I don't know, March, rain brings April flowers. Best quote I can think of off the top of my head. And let's say I just want that to be on every single page. Maybe I want it over here. Oops, I did not mean to move that. Maybe I want it over here, and I want it to be, I don't know, that luscious font that we used the other month, and I want it to be a bigger font so you can see it. So that's what I want to show up on every single page in March. So now if I go over down here to March, I can see that that quote is there on that page, as well as the second page, the quote shows up again. And that's because I changed it to the master page, and the master pages are there to help you. So in theory, if you want to put something for March, it will show up every single time that master page is applied. So think we have done master pages. Now to make changes to any of this text on here, really easy. You can double click it, and then usually the text box will just automatically appear. If that is not the case, you can actually just go over here and make sure the text box is selected, and then go to anywhere on here on this document and make changes. So maybe you don't like the way I said Monday, or maybe you're French. How about that? Maybe you're not an American and it's Friday, and so you're going to say vendredi, right? And so that is going to be what you want to replace everywhere inside the document. I think you could do, someone asked me if you could do a find and replace. If I do a Control F and I do Friday, and I want to change that to vendredi, I actually don't know if it'll work. Let's see, change all. So it only found one replacement. So I think it will only do a find replace on that particular page. I could be wrong, but I think that's the case. Let's see. If I go to the cover, will it do that? Change all. Oh, wait, I was wrong. If you go to the cover, I guess that maybe because I was selected inside that text box. So now it is changed everywhere inside of here. Let's check it out to vendredi. Yep, it has changed everything. So you could do that too. You could do a find and replace if you want to change everything over to another language. If you would like to change the colors. So let's say you're thinking, I really don't like the screen. It looks a little too masculine. You want to go through and change it. you could go here and just select this. So a couple things, I did use character styles. So if you are not familiar with character styles, I have a whole lesson on character styles. It is a little complicated, but it will save you time. Anytime you select any text, over here, if you have the character styles window open, it will tell you which character style has been applied. So if you go to window, you go to styles, and then you make sure there's a check mark in front of character styles, it will bring up that window. So over here, I can see that text to large has been applied everywhere. But let's say I just wanna, I'm gonna double click this. So this is kind of like a master page. It's like a master character sort of direction. And I wanna change all of these to hot pink. So I'm gonna say, okay. And then you can see everywhere that had that one text to large applied to it now is hot pink. So if I go to another page, let's see my pages, there we go. So if I go to another page, I can see that everywhere in the document, it is now hot pink everywhere. Same thing, I think this has another style applied to it. Let's see, character styles, yeah, Gotham Light. Same thing if I want that to match. If I select hot pink and say, okay, yeah, everywhere in the document now, that is hot pink as well. If you don't want to do that and you just want to change a couple days, like you just want Monday to be special, you could just highlight all of this and then go over here to the top and make sure that that T button is showing, and then you can select any other color that you want. So let's say you want to make this green. That's green. And let's say maybe you really like the look and feel of the academic calendar and you're like, you know what, I want to make this red. Whoops, that's not red. That's red. And then I want to make this blue. So you want to just make a big rainbow sort of item out of all of these dates. So you could go through and do all of that. So that's pretty much it. Again, just like Microsoft Word or anything else, if you want to change the font, you can do that over here at the top. And you can change the size and the color and everything else. There are no images in this document. You'll see the links file, everything's included, so you don't have to worry about going to Adobe Stock to purchase anything. You know, dated calendars, I always say this, are a little more straightforward and plain Jane, just because there's not a lot to change except maybe the style and the color and add your logo, mostly because, you know, Monday, February 8th, 2021 is the same Monday, February 28th, 2021 in every calendar. It's not like you're going to change that to a Thursday or something else like that. And that's pretty much it. Did you guys have any questions on this? No. It's possible no one's here because it's Sunday morning. But last point, really important, once you've made all of your changes, you have to export this document. You cannot save it. Well, you can do anything you want with the document, but if you save it as a PDF and send it out, the clickable tabs 100% will not work. To get the clickable tabs to work, you have to go to File, Export, and then you have to make sure that you export this as the format as an Adobe PDF interactive. So I always tell people, like, if you'll notice inside this file, this folder that I had when I was making this, I have a folder that's just called interactive PDF, and that's where I saved this exact file format, the Adobe PDF Interactive, just because when you save a regular PDF file versus an interactive PDF file, you cannot tell the difference from looking at the file name or from the type. They're both just PDF documents. So unless you yourself remember where you stored that file or you put a special name on it, you're not going to know that it is the correct file that will work with the clickable tabs. So make sure to do that every time after you make changes to your document. Export it. You can obviously save your document and go back and make changes, like the hyperlinks won't go away, but when you export it for your end user, you have to make sure you export, file, save as, and make sure Adobe Interactive is selected. All right, guys, so the next planner that is going up is the weekly, and then that will pretty much, that will be all of the 2021 dated planners. And then the week after that, if you are in Planner Academy, I will have all of your 2021 planners up as well. I don't know why this does that. Okay. So So I'm trying to use the DSLR for my live streams. I just think the picture looks a little better, but the Canon times out for some reason sometimes. So anyways, I hope everyone's having a fabulous Sunday. Don't forget, I did extend the sale for the social media planner. So that is still on sale through the end of today. And the sale for Etsy Kickstarter and for this digital planner are all on sale through the end of today as well. And then tomorrow I will launch the weekly. I was going to launch it later today, but someone said they were getting confused that I was doing too many new planner updates too much. I was spamming them with videos. So I don't want to spam you with videos. So I will do that tomorrow. So then all these sales will end today, and then we'll start a new one tomorrow for the weekly. Oh, Lakeisha, is this planner part of Planner Academy? No, absolutely zero planners that you see that are for sale are part of Planner Academy. All of the Planner Academy templates are specific and exclusive just to Planner Academy, mostly because one of two things, like just me as a consumer, like I would be annoyed if I already bought something and then I got it again. So the planners in Planner Academy are just special just to that group. And yeah, I know people are asking when Planner Academy 2.0 is launching. I was going to launch it in the spring. COVID happened. And then I think I'm going to launch it in the fall. But again, like I said, if you once it goes up, you should definitely enroll, because after this next Planner Academy 2.0, I don't know if I'll be launching again. So this could be the last one. As I mentioned before, I'm kind of switching gears and moving more into digital products. Obviously, I will still be talking about planners, but very much less so. And if you missed it, I will be taking a hiatus for the rest of August after the weekly launches this week. And then that's kind of it for all of August for videos. And then I don't know when I'll be back, but I just need to take a little bit of a break. There's a book I want to write, also switching gears with digital products. The website's launch still isn't done. So yeah. But I'm still going live this Tuesday with my friend Courtney at 9 a.m. And Courtney is my brand designer and my web designer. She's so talented and super amazing. And she will be going live on Tuesday to talk about her process. And I always tell people she does custom work. That is her thing. She doesn't make pre-mades. She's total opposite of me. She can take whatever design or idea you have for your business, and she can put it into a website or into a planner or an ebook or anything else that you want. And she can make it beautiful and make it all you, specific to your branding. So that is somebody I always refer people to. So we're going to talk with her live on Tuesday, so you can get to know her and also ask her any questions. If anyone has a website or a planner they want her to look at or review, she will do that for you right there on the spot. So just message me or send me an email, and we'll make sure to get that linked so you make it into the queue for Tuesday. All right, guys, I will finally say goodbye again. Bye. Have a nice weekend.